Oh, this is going to be interesting. Have you noticed this strange thick fog that is blanketing cities across the globe? As a matter of fact, drop in the comments if you've experienced this. People are getting sick. They're coughing, struggling to breathe, and posting videos about it all over the internet. And here's the kicker. They're even reporting the scent of chemicals. Now, you can look at the footage that I've got on the screen right now. You tell me this. For any of us who've been alive for more than 3 or 4 decades, have you ever seen anything like that before? Now, here's the thing. Reports are occurring all over the internet, and the major news sources, as usual, are late to the game. So we're here right now, and I'm going to break down everything that I discovered, and then we're going to look at tens of thousands of comments right here on this screen, or on this broadcast, that's going to prove that something is happening. So what is from Texas? I'm going to show you some like crazy footage. You're looking at crazy footage right now, but we're going to see more. And could there be something sinister behind this? Okay. Hey, by the way, all of my Dior bag family, if you know what I'm talking about, welcome to the broadcast. Let me just start with the obvious. But before we really jump in, if you're new, please tap the subscribe button and join my channel so you can go on this wild journey through opening up all of the seals of the book of Revelation, or whatever we are doing right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you some footage that I got from my own backyard and some things over the skies here in New York City, and I'm gonna actually show you from my cell phone here in a little bit. If you're a new subscriber, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, but before we jump to conclusions, because I got a lot of data together for this, weather modification programs are nothing new. And this is not conspiracy theory. What I'm telling you right now, you can fact check me. Let's just start with the hard facts. Did you know that the U.S. government actually has a history of weather modification experiments? As a matter of fact, one of the earliest programs was called Project Cirrus, and it was in 1947. Look this up. Scientists experimented with cloud seeding to control the weather, and they succeeded. Okay. And people are saying that my audio is cutting out. I hope that's not the case. Oh, Lord. Some people are saying it's cutting out hard. That is not cool when you've got 3,000 people on. Let me see if I can fix that in real time, and we will get this thing going for y'all. Let me know if that's better. We know that the enemy does not want this message to get out there, and I've successfully broadcast to millions of people over the last several weeks. Okay, here's the thing. If a lot of people are saying that you need to refresh. So jump in, jump out, and jump back in, refresh. Yeah, it could just be a YouTube thing. A lot of people are saying it's working fine for them. Okay, so audio is good. They're saying, okay, yeah, just refresh, jump out. Welcome to live streaming. Okay, so let me just jump back in. And by the way, do me a favor and share this broadcast. Let's get the word out to as many people as possible. So let me go back. Government programs for weather modification are substantiated. They're proven. This is like on record. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull something up here in a few and show you a .gov abstract that I have. But one of the earliest programs that, as I mentioned, was Project Cirrus. And it was in 1947 where scientists successfully seeded clouds to control the weather. Now, after they succeeded, during the Vietnam War, now I want you to lean in for what I'm saying, because during the Vietnam War, Operation Popeye, this is from 1967 to 1972, was a classified project, and it was aimed at extending the monsoon season to disrupt the enemy supply routes. Do you hear what I just said? Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know if you know this, but the U.S. military already used weather modification militarily. Okay. So that just needs to be said. Like we need to go on record and just say, like, and again, for all the skeptical millennials who have to go on ChatGPT and fact check everything, just type in Operation Popeye 1967 to 1972. And this was a classified project, and the military literally used weather modification to disrupt enemy supply routes successfully. And these experiments involved chemicals like silver iodide sprayed into the atmosphere to manipulate weather patterns. Now, okay, so this is like proven. Now, we're going to bring it home. I'm going to talk to you about what the implications are for today. You're looking at footage. Matter of fact, the footage that's on the screen right now, just to put some context to it, and then we're going to jump into more information, is this fog does not look like fog. This is, as of today, 12/30/24 in Florida, 6:30 a.m. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of dissect what I think it is. I'm gonna show you footage from other, various other places. I think I've got some from Texas. Okay, so stay with me. But there are programs like today, HAARP. I don't know if you've heard of HAARP. The acronym HAARP stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, and it stirred up a lot of controversy for their potential capabilities to modify weather using electromagnetic waves. Okay, so here's the question. Could something similar be happening now? Now, here's the thing I'm going to show you. Okay, hopefully you've been on the entire time. Now, if for whatever reason you were one of the people where the audio was messing up, now people are saying in the chat, if you jump out and jump back in, it's fine. Okay, and by the way, all 6,700 of you, welcome to the broadcast. I don't want to sound annoying, but please, if you haven't subscribed, tap the subscribe button so you don't miss another live stream, especially if you're interested in topics like this, because we're going on a journey, y'all. But I want to show you something, and I locked the door to my studio before I did this broadcast because I am so scared at the implications of telling the truth to the degree that I am right now. So, like, if you just jumped into the broadcast, I'm going to show you something from a .gov. This is an official document, government document, but I want you to remember what I just said. That our government has already declassified information with Operation Popeye in 1967 to 1972, Operation Cirrus before that, which is in the late 40s, 1947. So we know that they're doing it. Now watch this. Okay, let me pull this up. Look at this. Weather modification is a technology once embraced by the United States military as a tool to help both wartime and peacetime missions. However, interest in the ability to modify weather has waned over recent years and is now nearly non-existent. Do we believe that? Okay, let's do an experiment. Thumbs up if you don't believe it. If you don't believe that, hey, the U.S. military that actually used weather modification during a war successfully, during the Vietnam War, we just, lost interest in it. Come on now. Come on. Like, seriously? Matter of fact, I see some of your comments right now. You guys are calling this fog gate. But why are we doing this? Number one, secular news media is trash. If you're watching this and you're a journalist and you're a part of the machine, you should be ashamed of yourself because you know you're lying. Number two, they're late to the game. So when they do tell us the information, by then we've already been negatively impacted by the grand experiment that's happening to us. So that's why I've devoted my life to, I guess, what I'm considering my citizen's duty of actually giving you the best information as possible. Okay, so let me continue to go deeper. So these classified projects, Operation Popeye, Operation Cirrus. Now, of course, they're known, this is known information. I showed you this document from .gov. Matter of fact, you can see it, pinch and zoom on the screen, but it's basically a study that examines one aspect of weather modification, and they call it benign modification. Come on now. And, basically, you can go read it for yourself, but what they're saying is, well, we don't really do this anymore. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, right. Sure, bro. And so here's the thing. If they can extend a monsoon season to disrupt enemy supply lines during a war, you best believe they still use it. Now, these experiments involve, like I mentioned, silver iodide that's sprayed into the atmosphere to manipulate the weather patterns. And then you have the HARP program more recently, which is highly controversial. So let me ask you guys in the chat, could something sinister be happening right now? Or, hey, it's winter, this is fog, this is normal, blah, blah, blah. You tell me. And we're going to look at some more footage and we're going to continue to talk about it. And then I'm going to feature some of your comments. But did you know that modern geoengineering efforts include spraying aerosols to reflect sunlight? And there's a lot of people right now in these videos that I've been watching all day getting ready for this broadcast that are saying that there's this eerie chemical smell, and it's fueling right now a lot of the controversy. And of course, it's a conspiracy theory until they declassify it in another generation. So I want to talk about the health effects of the fog, because there's 10,000 people watching right now. And I want to talk about the health effects of this fog. And because there's many people saying they went outside, their throats burning. I don't know if you noticed this, but the medical community is just all of a sudden masking again. I don't know if you noticed that. You're starting to see a resurgence of masks. And there's a lot of people saying that, their throat is swelling up, that they can't go outside. Matter of fact, I saw one video from a woman who just installed a brand new filter. The fog rolled in and then her entire filter was trashed. And so she's like, there's got to be something else here. And we're going to talk about the science behind the effects of the fog, okay? But by the way, and again, if you're watching this on the rebroadcast, I'm not trying to be annoying. Understand there's 11,000 people on this broadcast. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Just roll your thumb over there and tap it real quick. And when you survive, I don't know, maybe there's a Freudian slip there. When you subscribe, you might survive. I'm not fear mongering, but am I the only one that is recognizing the fact that it's not getting better, it's getting worse? I mean, the Dior bag, are you on Dior bag talk? Are you following the drones, the plasmoids, the orbs? Like, it's not going away. Matter of fact, did you notice how many planes have gone down? I think 4 planes have either had a failure to land or crashed within the last, this has been wild. And I told you guys in my previous streams that it is going to get worse. So make sure that you subscribe if you're new. But let's talk about the health effects of this mysterious fog. So fog, it might just seem harmless, right? So look at the fog in the video that we have here. I'm going to play another video here in a few minutes. But yeah, it's, because there's going to be people, this is harmless, and these guys are fear mongering. He's doing this for clicks and likes and views. And okay, let's forget about the conspiracy concerning weather modification. Just fog that might seem harmless. These are water droplets suspended in the air, and they can actually become carriers for pollutants, carriers for chemicals, and even microscopic particles. And one of the things that, people are saying is that this could in fact be okay, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead here, but like nanotechnologies. Y'all, if you think that I've lost my mind, I'm one of those tinfoil hat wearing people, we are in the 4th turning. Mark my words. We are slipping out of the era of the internet age into the artificial intelligence age, and then we're going into the next age, which is going to be super artificial intelligence real soon. So just like when you saw in the last turning, we went from, locomotive to combustion gas, then we went from radio, and from radio to television to internet. We are in a 4th turning right now. And yeah. So And I'm doing this to help you increase in your discernment, because when people inhale fog laden with pollutants, it can cause not just an irritant to your throat, but also your lungs, your airways. It causes coughing, shortness of breath, and it even can trigger asthma attacks. And there are people that are posting videos saying that they've got to come back inside because they're having asthma attacks. And they're like, they're this. Matter of fact, there's people who are even saying that that they have, people in London, for example. I watch videos where they're like, listen, fog is normal here, but the effects of whatever this is not normal. Okay. So again, oh, by the way, I can already see the comments. People are always like, make your video bigger, and they're smaller. And so let me see if I can do that. By the way, you do have an option to pinch and zoom on the screen, but take a look at this for a second, okay? Look at this. It does not look like fog. This looks like something else. I'm going to show you this video here in a few moments. I'm going to show you another one right now. Let me pull it up, and then we're going to continue to talk about what this could be. And I cannot wait to read your comments. By the way, we got to do this together, y'all. Matter of fact, if you're experiencing this fog, please let me know if this is something that you've experienced. Now, we're going to take a look at Texas. This is unusual fog over Texas. Now, take a look at that. And here's the thing. Huge implications here. Why the chemical smell? Why are the people that are posting these videos that we're looking at together reporting a chemical smell? Okay. So some scientists are even suggesting that these industrial pollutants, or even these chemical compounds like sulfur dioxide or ammonia, could actually be, in fact, I'm getting texts right now from some trusted friends and sources, and I'm going to read that to you in a second. Things are jumping off, y'all. I'm stepping into something. Pray for me. So, okay, let me back up. If I seem a little ADD right now, it's because we've got 13,000 people in the chat. We are going to uncover the truth. My phone's blowing up because people are watching right now. That trusted source is sending me information in real time. So stick around, okay? Stick around. Now, could this be some depopulation plan? Could this be the precursor to the next thing, right? It's getting wild out here. So sulfur dioxide, ammonia can be trapped in the fog. That would be the smell. And you've got scientists who are talking about this as well. If this is engineered, I've already built a case for why I think it is. Could it be carrying something more insidious like the nanoparticles that I mentioned? Could there be a technological aspect to this? And for those of you who are like, what do you mean? There can be particles that are so small that almost microscopic where it looks as if it's fog or it's trapped within the water droplets. Yeah. Welcome to 2024, 2025. Okay. And what if it's being used to conceal something else? Like the drones. Okay, call me crazy, but let's do this. Smash the thumbs up if you believe it's any of the last 3 or 4 things I said. Now I'll make this bigger. Okay, look, I learned. By the way, there's 16,000 people. Let me know if you can still hear me while we're looking at this video together. But if you have not subscribed, please tap the subscribe button. Join my channel if you want to go on this wild journey into the 4th turning with me. If you want to go into the Orwellian future with me and try to figure this out, tap the subscribe button right now. And take a look at this. Let me ask you a question. By the way, I'm looking at the chat. Could you hear me while I made it big screen? Because I'm learning right in front of you. I'm trying to get better at these streams every time. And I read your guys' comments. I'm trying to grow right in front of you. But, okay, here's the thing. I've got people in the chat right now saying the fog is in my city. I'm experiencing unusual headaches. I'm experiencing, all kinds of respiratory issues. It feels COVID-like. Okay, let me just say this. Look at the video I have right now from Texas. What do you notice? The fog is so dense you can't see the sky. If we already have documented proof that the U.S. government has been using weather modification if we can already prove that, and I did that earlier on this broadcast, go hit the rewind button, would it be fair to assume that they could also be using weather modification to conceal drone activity because people have caught on? This is why the Dior bags thing. So if you go on TikTok, they're severely limiting and restricting content concerning the drones and the plasmoids and the orbs. And so the language that they're using on TikTok is Dior bags. That's what that means for those of you that are not with it, because you're just joining this whole crazy world with me. Could they be concealing the drones? And if so, what are the drones? Okay, now, here's my hypothesis that these drones are in fact U.S. military experimentation. I do believe that war is imminent. We're already seeing war overseas. We will see an escalation of war. I also believe that domestic, local, this to me, this is when we get into the precursor to some things. Could this be the U.S. military attempt to increase their ability to protect? Or if you're more on the nefarious side, could this actually be a preemptive restriction of U.S. airspace before consumer grade technologies are made available to us, which would give us visibility? And that's what I talked about in some of my other streams that reached 1 million views plus. So could they be hiding the drones? What do you guys think? And again, I'm presenting a lot of this as, let's talk about this together, because anybody who says they know definitively at this point is lying. But I do think that we can go on a journey of discovering what it is. And I've given you a lot of data. A lot of you guys in the chat are, oh man, that's a good comment. But a lot of you in the chat are saying this is depopulation, that there's something sinister. But then someone else says that, Project Lord help me, Project Bluebeam, that they're going to use the fog in order to put projections into the sky. And that there could be that as well. Now, what do you think about the timing and the purpose of this? Because this is where we got to start bringing the information together. What is the timing and what is the purpose of this happening? We're coming into the new year, and we're seeing this global escalation of war. We're seeing various different things unfolding. What is the timing? So imagine a scenario where the fog is used as a cover for high-tech surveillance drones. And I've been practicing saying the word nuclear. Am I saying it right? Put in the chat, nuclear. I've been practicing it. That's something else that my viewers have been saying, Mike, I love you, but you don't say that word right. Did I say it right? I've been saying it in the mirror. I'm trying to make you proud of me. There's 19,000 people on this live stream right now. Guys, welcome. We've already covered so much data. I'm going to show you a video from my phone. I'm here in New York City. But if you're new, and I'm not trying to sound like a broken record for the rebroadcast, please tap the subscribe button and join my channel, because quite frankly, I don't know if you can trust secular news media. I don't. Smash the thumbs up if you don't. And at best, they're late, and we're going to feel the effects physically of this fog, and it's going to be the detriment of our health before they even come out with any official word anyways. And so welcome to the channel. If you're a new subscriber, let me know in the chat. Okay, so let's talk business. Let's go back to some information, because I compiled a lot so I can make the best presentation for you guys, trying to do my best job to serve you. But imagine a scenario where the fog is used as a cover for high-tech surveillance drones, preventing them from being seen in the sky. Governments and even some private organizations that work with the government have invested heavily in this drone technology, and they use it for surveillance. They use it for various different military purposes. And what better way to hide their operations than in plain sight, cloaked in this mysterious fog? Okay. As a matter of fact, that seems very, very likely to me as well. The problem I have with that being the only aspect of what this is the fact that it could also, but it's like that doesn't explain the chemical smell necessarily in conjunction with people reporting respiratory illness and things of that nature. So Here's the question as well. And again, I don't want to offend you because we have 20,000 people on right now. But if you are somebody who understands the spiritual realm, do you believe that the events that are transpiring right now have spiritual significance? Now, I know that might sound crazy, but the last video that's going to stream from this page, my YouTube channel, before 2025 is me and a renowned scholar named Rick Renner, who actually studied the Nephilim. Many of you guys have seen Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and many popular podcasters talking about the Nephilim. We've had a lot of weird stuff happening. Could this fog be the precursor to some, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but people are putting in the chat already, some sort of interaction with aliens, some sort of interaction with, I'm saying it out loud thinking I'm about to sacrifice my entire reputation on these broadcasts, but we've got to have these conversations because from the Christian biblical narrative is that these are Nephilim, these are fallen angels, these are the decommissioned spirits of these genetic half-breeds between the fallen angels and women. And these are the kinds of conversations that have been happening and unfolding amongst major players like the Joe Rogans. And so I don't think it's that much out of the question to talk about. And the fog to me seems like another chapter in this drone plasmoids UAP conversation. It's just evolving. It's incrementally evolving right now. And what is that leading to? So one of the reasons why I want to ask that you would tap the subscribe button is because I want you to see this video that's going to be streaming from this page, before New Year, where I talk with this renowned theologian and a historian. And we talk about, because the Bible says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end times. And so he's talking about like the similarities and the parallelism between the times of Noah and today. And so very, very, very interesting conversation that we're going to have. And I want to make sure that you see that with me. Okay, I'm going to just jump back in. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more data that I have, so stick around. Don't tap off of this. I'm going to also show you a video that I captured from New York City, and I want to get your opinion on it. You're looking at footage right now from Texas, and so this is Texas, this unusual fog. And matter of fact, and if I'm going to leave it up a little bit more, you can take your if you're watching on mobile, you can take your thumbs and pinch and zoom on the videos that I have here, so that way you can you can see it for yourself. And I'm going to go back to another video, and I'm going to show you another video, and we're just going to keep this conversation going. So let's talk about this. And by the way, some of the best information is going to happen in the chat, because you're going to, this is where they can't stop us. I just want to say that before we jump into the data. I have all kinds of data I accumulated today. They can't stop us. That's why these streams are so important, because we can transmit information to each other. And in my opinion, the only fighting chance that we have in this next era, in this fourth turning, is to transmit information amongst each other faster than they can transmit misinformation to the masses, right? And to me, that is why we do this. Smash the thumbs up if you believe that and you're with me, okay? We need like an end times army to rise up. So first, remember, if you do believe in God, that he is sovereign over all creation. But the problem is people are trying to play God. And if you just got chills up your spine right now, welcome to the club. People are trying to play God. Every single time people have tried to play God, they got slapped down by God. You know, in the oldest book of the Bible is the book of Job. Now, don't click off, because I'm not trying to offend any of you that are not, Christians or whatever, but we're talking from a historic perspective, okay? So the oldest book of the Bible is the book of Job, and it actually talks about This is what it says. For to the snow, God says, fall on the earth. Likewise, to the downpour, his mighty downpour, nothing happens outside of his ultimate control. And that's essentially what the book of Job's talking about. But the Bible also warns in the end times, there's going to be this massive deception and there's going to be this massive manipulation in the last days. Okay. So, and that's why I think it's important for you to hear this, because some of you guys are like, oh man, normally I would click off for the Bible beating and that's no, like this is deeper. Okay. So you got to get over that's so 2012, people being mad at the Bible. Like these are ancient texts. And these ancient texts are ancient people who are experiencing things in the earth and trying to put language to them so that we can understand what they were going through. And then the other thing that I think is important is that when you talk about the Bible, there's prophecies. And one of the reasons why there's still billions of Christians is because these prophecies have been fulfilled over time. And so I'm going to read something to you that I think is going to help you understand. So in the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 14, it speaks of these spirits of demons basically performing signs, and they go abroad to the kings of the whole world and they assemble them for battle. And they're basically, part of this larger spiritual battle that's happening. And so my point in saying this is the language that's used in these ancient texts is different than the language that we use as modern people, but could we be talking about the same thing? And this is why we have these conversations, because there's something else at play, and we've got to go back to the wisdom of the ancients. And so let me show you this now. Take a look at this on the screen. Okay, this was the original video that we started with, and I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to show you something from my phone as well. And by the way, again, understand that if you're watching this on the rebroadcast, thousands of people are in this stream coming in and leaving, coming in and leaving. And so for those of you who just came in, can you please tap the subscribe button and join this channel? So hit the subscribe button if you're interested in conversations like this, because I'm going to continue to do this. We're going to follow this. I'm going to continue to scour the internet for all kinds of information and bring it back to you. But I love this. I'm going to just put this. I'm going to feature this comment. Christina in the chat says, nothing sounds crazy these days. And there's no other way to say than that. Amber B says fog in Cedar Park, Texas, which I just showed the footage from Texas. And I'm going to put it on a screen so you guys can read it for yourself. I'm afraid to even say the words. We're going to have to come up with some kind of code word, but prepare for the next you know what. And matter of fact, I did a video weeks ago about H5N1 and how it's just one mutation away from person-to-person transmission. And I'm telling you, like, I posted that video. I think it only got like 60,000 views. Matter of fact, go back, watch that video. I'll put a link in the description of this video. And the crazy thing is, California declared a state of emergency because they had a patient with it. And you're starting to see that happen. And so, yeah, I don't doubt. Let me read this text that I got. By the way, if you're any one of the 21,000 people who are watching right now and you're new, I just want to welcome you. My name is Mike Signorelli. I'm here in New York City. Let's do this thing together. Welcome to my channel. But let me read this text that I got from a trusted source while I've been live. It says, I got to edit this in real time, okay? This person works at a very significant hospital, and that hospital just announced to their staff internally that they are limiting all visitors because there's a massive spike in flu and COVID-like symptoms over the last 36 hours, and they are without beds. And something is happening that they're not quite aware of what it is. So, did you hear what I just said? So so that's just one report, but it's good for you to get that information because where else are you going to get it? Like, I haven't heard of these things being reported. And to me, that in and of itself is very, very discouraging, right? And that's why I'm doing this right now. So as we face these uncertainties, we have to fix our eyes on the eternal kingdom. And listen, please stay with me. Don't click off. Please hear me. Open your heart. Jesus said in John chapter 16, verse 33, it makes me want to cry right now. He said, in the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. So our mission remains very clear, my friends. We need to share the gospel and bring hope to those who fear and are in confusion. And this fog is a reminder that earthly systems are fragile, but God's kingdom is unshakable. So to everybody watching from the government, for everybody on this stream right now that's a part of some nefarious depopulation plan, you can play God, but you're going to get slapped down by the true and living God. You can modify, you can make your plans, but the Bible says that man makes their plans and God laughs. So God is laughing at you. We are going to be triumphant in the midst of this. And here's what's happening to us. And this is what I'm saying. Because right now there's literally people saying, I'm unsubscribing because you just said that. And I think that is what I'm saying is you're lacking wisdom, my friend. This is a cosmic battle that we're in. It's so much more than just about fog. It's because the fog is connected to the UAP, UFO, drone, plasmoid orb. It's an unveiling that's happening. It's a transition into a new era. All these things are unfolding, and you've got to awaken to discernment, which includes the spiritual realm. You cannot rule it out. You cannot rule it out. And, let me just put it like this. Look at the comments. Look at the comments. Lots of fog in Alabama. Somebody else said smart dust. And if you've been paying attention, they've been able to do this. But I believe that there is a concerted evil force that's at play behind these things. And that's why we're having this conversation. And I believe it's super important for me to be bold in what I'm saying right now. And so there might be some that unsubscribe, but I want to ask you the question, who's still with me? Who's actually like, no, you know what, Mike? I would have thought you were crazy. I used to be an atheist, blah, blah, blah. But just like Jordan Peterson, just like Joe Rogan, just like Russell Brand, so many people are awakening to the spiritual realm, and they're awakening to this narrative that there is good and evil, that it is God versus Satan. There is a Luciferian agenda, and we've got to open up our eyes, okay? So let me know if you're still with me in the chat. Yeah, praise God. All right, so I'm gonna ask you the question, because this is where we go to the next level. What do you think? Is the fog just a natural phenomenon? I stand to be corrected. I think I got a lot of information to suggest otherwise. Is this a government experiment, or is it something more? Here's the thing though, as believers, we're called to discern the times and stay rooted, because right now, as the storms are coming, you have to bend but not break. And I'm telling you, the times that are coming up ahead of us are going to cause many people to want to mentally and emotionally break. That's why we need each other like never before. And some people are saying it. Let me see if I can put it. I'm gonna feature. Yeah, I love what Brenda's saying, because Brenda gets it. Brenda says, hit the like button and share. People need to know something's going on in the spiritual realm. Thank you so much for being a part of the solution, not being a part of the problem. Thank you for being a voice of unity in a world full of division. They want us divided, because divided we're weak. That's how they control us. Okay. Jeremy Winter says, thank you and much love, Brother Mike. Can't thank you enough for what you do. Love, love, love that. But let me do this, because you guys, the comments, somebody says, oh, like HARP, there's these trillion watt lasers and satellite platforms. Yeah. By the way, thank you for the super chat and supporting the channel. I much appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Somebody is asking me in the chat if I would, let me go back, if I would address the planes that are going down. And that is actually a very difficult thing to speak on. Let me tell you why. I've been doing a deep dive into the planes that have gone down, because as you guys can see, there's been an unusual amount of aviation emergencies. Now, some of it is, and I'm looking at the footage. Some of it is like, basically the plane's hitting birds upon takeoff, and then they have to land. Some of it is actually that the landing gear is locking in place, and so it's various different things. But here's the thing. I'll get back to you guys about that. I don't want to make any definitive statements. This says they're cloud seeding. This is evil occult with the weather. Natural disasters are not natural. Yeah, let me just say this. Natural disasters are not natural. That statement, I believe, needs to be said. And let me just say this. Thank you, Jody. When you go back and you notice that in 1947, think about what I'm saying to you right now. In 1947, they are seeding clouds and manipulating weather. Matter of fact, when they did that, what actually happened was they changed the course of a storm, and there were implications for it. Okay, and that was Project Cirrus. And you can fact check me on all this. Very intentional, but they lost control of it. Then you fast forward, and then you've got let me hold on. You fast forward because it was like maybe about a couple decades later. 1967. You have Operation Popeye. That they literally extended an entire monsoon season and used that strategically to disrupt these like enemy supply lines, and that's happening during the Vietnam War. So if that's okay, just think with me, okay? If that's what happened in like the 60s, 1967, y'all. So if they've been able to do it since 1947, come on. And it really makes me think how much of what we've encountered in our lifetime. Yeah, that's a great comment. I'm going to put that up. Man, you guys are on it. Y'all, we are building a powerful channel right now, because by the looks of the comment section, you're not woke, but you are awake. by the looks of y'all are with it, okay? But we'll get to that in a second. Did you see that literally China was able, an actor posing or what behind, I'm geeking out right now because you guys are getting it. I'm trying to calm myself down. But China literally hacked U.S. governmental infrastructure today. That happened today. China also unveiled their new stealth fighter. I don't know if you noticed that. So they hacked the treasury. Guys, I don't know how comfortable I feel here in America knowing that our treasury can be hacked. And by the way, can you just delete our student loan debt? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Hey, by the way, China, if you're going to be in there, can you just delete our student loan debt? That's a joke. Joking, not joking. But this is crazy. Like, the days that we're living in right now, absolutely insane. And where's that at? My man Ricky in the chat. I'm just watching the chat, and Ricky says there's something that they put in the fog, and it's getting people physically sick because fog, unless it's not really fog, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, he's kind of speculating. We talked about that earlier. Yeah, nice. Yeah, this comment right here summarizes perfectly. Maybe it's because of the drones. And again, that is one of the speculations, is that, because it's limiting the visibility of the sky, it enables them to carry on with some of their activity, without being seen, right? So there's a huge implication for that. Yeah, come on. That's so funny. People are saying even my 72-year-old mother is waking up to what's going on. She's the one who told me about the fog. Tab says I subscribe. Guys, make sure that you subscribed. Yeah. Now, this comment says, Mike, you are correct. They've had technology to manipulate weather for decades. That's actually top secret files that were unsealed 10 years ago, but they unsuccessfully swept it under the rug. Right. And so, here's the thing. Somebody else says if planes are crashing and they are drones, and there are drones, they'll make new laws saying it's dangerous for civilians to use drones. Yes. And I've been saying that as well. I don't know if you've ever heard the term Orwellian, but basically George Orwell said absolute power corrupts absolutely. And he wrote books like The Animal Farm and, various different stories that kind of help people understand that governments ultimately cannot be trusted. They must be held accountable. And that if you're not educated, you're going to miss it. And that they'll change and manipulate. So what I think is funny, and this is what I tried to show you guys, but I can put it up again. It's like so this is the abstract that is on a .gov site. You can see it on the screen right now. And basically they're just saying like, well, weather modification is a technology that we embraced, that was embraced by the United States military as a tool to help both wartime and peacetime missions. However, we lost interest in it. It's like, yeah, sure, right? So I love this comment, be not deceived. Like we have to be so much smarter than this. And that's why we're doing this, okay? Now, I want to throw this up. I've got a video, again, link in the description of the video, where H5N1, it's one mutation away from person-to-person transmission. So I do think that it's very likely that we are going to end up in another situation. Now, can I put something on record right now? Because I want to make sure that I wasn't planning on doing this, but I will say this right now, because I feel like, okay. Again, I'm going to go there. If I were some evil strategist, you have the first, I don't even know what your words to use. I'm usually a little bit more articulate, but I'm so afraid of being limited or restricted. Again, that's why I'm asking you guys to subscribe. Make sure you stay a part of the channel, like you don't miss these things. But let me, how do I say this? In 2020, if that happens again, if I were some evil strategist, I would engineer it in such a way that it was significantly deadlier. Because then all the people who have this righteous indignation who say, I'm not going down like last time, I'm going to live my life, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, go back out into the earth. And yet the consequences are significantly greater than they were the last time. So what I'm saying is, I'm going to exercise an abundance of caution more from a strategic standpoint because, Yasmin says 1984 by George Orwell. So I'm just saying, and I think it's important. By the way, guys, I never asked for one super chat, and the fact that you guys are sending them to me is really, really touching my heart. So thank you so much. As you guys know, we actually fund a lot of causes. My wife and I distribute food to people in Brooklyn, and I have food distribution sites in different places of the U.S., like Northwest Indiana. And so thank you so much. Those super chats get put to good usage financially. So we try to do good things with that. So thank you. Yeah, this is a great conversation, guys. I want to stay on with you a little bit longer because what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you a video from my phone, and I want to get your opinion on it because, I do live in New York City, and, it gets kind of weird. Okay, it gets kind of weird out here. So I've been seeing some stuff. I want to see what you see. In the meanwhile, I'll throw up the footage of the Texas fog right now. The Texas fog. And okay, now look at this. This comment says there have been some weird things happening with the fog. I live in Sioux City, Iowa, and I'm used to the crazy weather, but the fog covered my car in black soot. It's bizarre. Look at this on the screen right now, guys. Look at this on the screen right now. So this is like so this is somebody from Sioux City, Iowa. And they're just, Brandon is saying in the chat, hey, but here's the point. Like you're not going to see Brandon's report on the news. That's why we're doing this right now. So yeah, matter of fact, where'd that comment go? I want to try to feature this comment. People are keeping their pets inside. I think it's a good precaution, especially if you're in an area where you're seeing this fog, because there's implications. Now, you ask me, when's the last time you've seen fog produced heavy soot like that? Natural phenomenon, possibly. So I don't know. I've seen a lot coming out of Australia as well. Somebody says they're poisoning the rain in Australia. And again, okay, here's my point. It's only a conspiracy until it's confirmed. Before it's confirmed, it's like, oh, it's a conspiracy. Then it's confirmed. So there's a lot. Yeah, Spicy Bear. What that is a hilarious YouTube name. Says it sounds like a chemical attack. Somebody else says sounds like it's poison. Crazy things. They're saying that the H5N1 in the lady infected in Louisiana had the mutation. I looked at that and it was mutated, but I don't think it had a person-to-person mutation. But I'll continue to look at that and we'll kind of see what's going on with that. Yeah. Okay, Susan's asking a very important question, and the question is this worldwide now? And the answer is yes. That's what I'm trying to show you, the fog from various different places, because it is worldwide now. It is worldwide. And it's just, here's somebody else. I saw the fog yesterday in South Jersey. Taylor says something that I agree with. Kind of seems like hacking our treasury would be an act of war. I agree with you, Taylor. And I'll be honest with you, like, I don't understand how we've normalized us being hacked. Like, can you help me understand that? Like, how did it just become normal? Like, oh yeah, we got hacked today. The federal government, our treasury got hacked. Like, by the way, where is Biden? Does anybody know where Biden is? Like, do we have a president right now? Like that, because it's like, I'm with you, Taylor. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to continue to read your guys' comments. We're going to keep the conversation going. Okay, now Olivia brings something up that I think is worth talking about. Now, by the way, if you're watching this on the rebroadcast, we have 21,342 people on this live. I'm not backing down. We're going to keep going because there's more to talk about. But Olivia says it's winter, though, and fog is normal in the winter. I agree. And we have to be level-headed. We've got to stay sane in the midst of all this insanity. But Olivia, I think the issue is the totality of all the reports that we're getting globally. That's where this gets weird. That's where it gets weird. Now, somebody says something, and I like this idea. Maybe they're weakening our immune system right before the bird flu. I mean, that is sick. Like, what the implication of what you just said is sick. Hey, by the way, quick commercial. I have a book about genetics, your inheritance, the supernatural realm, how it works through your bloodline. People who are curious, in the book of Genesis, the biblical account of demons, and it's the pinned comment right now. You can get it on Amazon. It is a best-selling book. It's helped a lot of people, and I would consider getting it. So let me know in the chat if you get it. And great way to start the new year. Okay, it was a best-selling book. for the last couple of months. So tap the link it's the pinned comment. It literally says book, and just go grab it on Amazon. And I think it'll help you, because I actually wrote about some of this stuff, and then it all started happening. And I was like, wow, this is like the timing. So somebody says in the chat, I featured the comment. J Tad says, just found your channel and just heard about this fog thing worldwide, and that people are taking ill, and they believe that the big UFO ships have shown up, and that's why the government has now initiated the fog. So yeah, cool. My whole fam and people at work are sick. Here's some, okay, look, this has a smell and it's not normal. Thank you. This is part of it, was trying to substantiate that it has a smell, as a chemical smell. Earlier on in this broadcast, I talked about how the smell could be ammonia. It could be the pollutants trapped in it. It could be the various different substances that they're seeding it with, right? So it does have a smell, which is super, super weird, right? Somebody says lightheaded, almost dizzy. Yes, there's a lot of reports where people are talking about that as well. And somebody says, I'm in Appalachia, Tennessee, and we've been told not to come to the hospital because they're overrun. Okay, so that's 2 reports just in this broadcast right now. And guys, again, hit the subscribe button. Just reach your thumb over if you're watching on your phone, tap subscribe, ring the bell notification so that we can keep going, because I'm convinced that this thing is going to get crazier. But now here's guys, I love journalism. I have an English degree from a Big Ten university, so I fully immerse myself in writing. You know, I get it. And I vet news sources. I've been all on the news today before this broadcast, trying to bring something to you guys that was substantial. I wanted to put some proverbial meat on the bones for you. By the way, I've been streaming now for like over an hour. I'm coming up on an hour right now. So it's like I've given a lot of data, a lot of information, but here's where I get annoyed. Why do we not know that there are hospitals overrun all over America right now? Like, how do we not know that? And Anna in the chat said it, but I just got text from a friend that works at a pretty significant hospital that they said the same thing. So, and then let me ask you this question. Cammie just said it in the chat, and I featured it right now. Have you had these weird headaches? Like, have you had these weird, are you like, am I the only one that has heard many, many people tell the story of these weird, random headaches, persistent, crazy headaches? So that to me is very bizarre, like very, very, very bizarre. Yeah. Linda says the X-Files are real and they're true stories. Linda, I could not, yeah, like, now, let me just say this, though. This comment from Norman says, you said it, Pastor Mike, the whole world is transitioning, especially the church, and we have to stay focused, don't panic, and abide by Scripture. Let me just say this. I do these broadcasts so that we can exchange panic for preparation. And, here's the thing. We want to come together, have a global conversation, and we want to exchange panic for preparation. Smash the thumbs up if you believe that right now. Somebody said this too, 2025 is going to be the year of the snake in the Chinese year, which is very interesting scenario. Yeah, look at this. JC says, yes, I've had random migraines out of the blue, and one of them I almost died. By the way, I've seen people experience that before, and it is not nice. Yeah. Somebody says the fog smells like paint. Well, think about the chemicals that are in paint. Okay, somebody else, though, where's that? Said that, yeah, Delonda says, we are at war and no one's talking about it. I'm talking about it. I think the reason why we have 21,000 people on this live stream right now is because we're talking about it because they're not talking about it. Somebody else says we had a smelling fog in East Tennessee since Saturday and thought it was coming from our landfill. Light cycle 7. I'm putting these comments on the screen right now, by the way, so that we can talk about it. Somebody else says man-made weather modification, acid rain. Florian says, we're doomed. Pray to Jesus. Somebody else says, I had a mild headache for 4 days. Yeah. You guys are hilarious. I like this comment, though. We talk about exchanging panic for preparation. And I like this. I like this comment, and this is why I'm featuring it. Vitamin D3, K2, magnesium, zinc, lots of water, and of course, prayer. And you know what? I agree. I think that is really good advice. As a matter of fact, you can mitigate against a lot of this stuff by building up your immune system and being prepared. And listen, where do I get the biblical template for this? You know, before it rained, you literally got, before it rained, you literally had a plan that was given to Noah for the ark. And so it's like there's preparation has always been a part of the plan. And that's because I believe there's wisdom in that. Let's see, South Carolina, the fog was several days ago, and then tons of rain for a couple days later, sunny and clear today. Yeah. Okay, curious. This is a great comment. Is anyone else having skin irritation from the fog? I noticed that it was strong smelling and the car covered in dirt, having dreams of Nephilim and a demonic attack. Let me ask you guys this, okay? Because I love talking about the supernatural and how it's connected to this. I'm going to ask 2 questions. Number 1, is anybody experiencing skin irritation that's connected to the fog? Number 2, are any of you guys having dreams? Prophetic dreams, very, how do I put this? Realistic dreams that almost feel like you're living them, like dreams. Okay, here's a question. Have you been having dreams of a tidal wave, a tsunami? There's been this phenomenon of like a tsunami dreams. People are having these very potent, very realistic dreams. David says, can you say anything about your White House visit? Yes. It is very simple, okay? I posted pictures on my Instagram. You guys can go check them out. My White House visit was a very simple assignment. And again, I know that we have, 21,000 people on this live stream. Not everybody's of the same belief. And I want to be respectful. And my hope is that you don't click off. I specifically got invited to the White House to pray. And I got access to actually walk inside, go through several rooms of the White House and pray inside and outside the White House. And I posted some pictures for that. But, I do think it matters. Prayer, I think prayer matters. I believe in the supernatural. I believe in the spiritual realm. And so, yeah. If somebody says, I had a dream of tsunami a few months ago, a lot of people are having dreams, very, very like visceral dreams. Look at this. More dreams of tsunami. Yeah. Somebody says the gates of hell are open. Man, that's ominous. Somebody else, I had a vivid dream about a tsunami. This is crazy. This is crazy. Now, here's the thing. Now, I'm going to feature Bruce's comment, and I want you guys to tell Bruce what you think about his comment, because there's a lot of you here. There's a stadium's worth of people here. Bruce says, why are you seeding people's thoughts? You're inciting fear. What I would submit to you, Bruce, is that here's our options, okay? Number 1, we wait for traditional news media to talk about this stuff and give us their scripted narrative. And at best, even if they tell the truth, they're going to tell us too late. I don't like option number 1. Option number 2 is that we talk about these things, we get as much information as possible, we have a big global conversation, and we mutually support each other and try to determine what are the most options that we have. I like option 2. And, that's how I feel about it. So I don't think I'm inciting fear. I think when hospitals are overrun across the United States and it's not being reported, and like, you get what I'm saying? Well, I'm not inciting it. People are already experiencing it, and we're narrating it, and we're talking about it together. So, yeah. Neil mentions the polar shift, which is actually happening. Very interesting. Kara says, Bruce, we're tired of the lies. When two or more gather in my name, Jesus is there, help guiding us. Yeah, somebody says, prepare with prayer, Bruce. Thank you, guys. Somebody says, I dreamt that I was Harry Potter, LOL. Tornado dreams. Yeah. Houston smells really bad. Okay. Watch this. So Heather, Houston always smells bad. That's funny. She was joking. Okay. Hey, Heather, we love you. The battle report says, good answer, Mike. I'm trying. I like this acronym for fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Man, that's truer today than it's ever been, y'all. Hey, by the way, it's been like 10 minutes since I said it, but if you're new and you just joined in, please tap the subscribe button and join the channel, especially if you like having conversations about these things. And I'm saying that again because there's thousands of people that are joining and probably just jumped in and be like, what is going on today? Which seal from the book of Revelation are they cracking open today? And so just hit the subscribe button and let me know if you're a new subscriber, and I would love to welcome you. So I'm going to show you guys something on my phone here in a second. Yeah, D says this polar vortex is going to be epic. Get prepared. They're not talking about this mini ice age on the way. Yeah, I will. That's something else. So again, I've been chilling on this live stream with you guys now for over an hour. Hopefully you appreciate that. I gave a lot of information. If you want to get like the potent information from all my studies, go back to the very beginning of this video and watch it straight through. Now we're in the phase of like collecting information, talking, hanging out. I'm going to show a video here on my phone here in a few, but while I was doing a lot of study today for this, the polar vortex. Okay, so what they're saying is that in the month of January, that there is going to be like catastrophic snowstorms, major snow systems. Could this fog be connected to the snowstorms? Could all that be connected? I don't know. And could that be an attempt to keep us inside? I think the thing about me that this is the thing that I struggle with, okay? And I'm just saying this out loud, and let's talk about this together. And by the way, I'm trying to be open-handed about a lot of this stuff. I don't want any of you to watch this and think like, this guy's lording this information over us as if it's fact. I'm trying to be reasonable. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be intellectual about this. But here's where I struggle. If I can present to you, which I did already, two situations in which it's documented and confirmed by the U.S. government that they manipulated weather. If I can, and I already done that, one for warfare, military intent, and they did it in Vietnam, and the other one for just controlling the weather in general, and that was in the 40s and then again in the late 60s, then why would they not do it today? Why couldn't they just say, oh, you know what? Go ahead and seed those clouds. Let's rain them out. We want everybody indoors. And to me, that's the thing that drives me crazy, because it's like, I don't want to live in a world where God's not in control. Or let me just put it, where God's not given ultimate control. And yet we're trying to play God. Now, I do know that God always has the most ultimate clapback, and he could, because he is sovereign and he is always in control. But I mean, it's like, why do we have to play God? And that's okay. That's why, and I want to say this with like 20,000 people on this live stream right now. That's why I want you to subscribe, because there's this guy, Rick Renner, and you may have heard of him, you may not have, renowned scholar, theologian, historian, and he actually wrote a book about this. And I believe it's is it tomorrow night? But it's going to stream. It's the last thing I'm streaming before we cross over into the new year. And me and him are going to be talking more about the genetic engineering that's happening, these monsters, these chimeras, these creatures, these weird things. Listen, and I'm not saying any of this to offend you, but I do believe that even the gender confusion that we have is connected to all this, because what's the root of it? And again, I waited till over an hour of the broadcast to kind of go into the deeper side of things, but like, here's what I'm saying. Look at the theme. Let me make a parallel. You have governments trying to play God by controlling weather. You have individuals trying to play God by assigning themselves their own gender identity. The common theme is we have taken it upon ourselves to now like say, no, I'm in control. Here's the thing. Like, this is the hard part about all this is, and I hope that I didn't offend anybody in saying that, and hopefully you hear compassion. It's just, we're getting into this realm from an individual to a collective within the government. In other words, every sphere of influence where people are trying to assert control and they're trying to play God. That never works out, right? That never works out. So, and I'm saying that in the most loving way possible. And because, man, that in and of itself is exhausting, trying to play God. It's a futile effort and you lose every time, okay? It's a futile, yeah. And this is what Tiffany says, we are in the days of Noah. And for those of you who don't know what Tiffany's talking about, that's why I want you to make sure that you're subscribed to watch the New Year's Eve broadcast, because that's what we're going to be talking about. It's a prophecy that many people believe is coming to pass. It was the thing that Christ warned about, the number one scariest thing that Christ warned about. And yeah, it's like, and that's what we're going to talk about. So make sure you're subscribed for that. Yeah. Great comments, by the way. Yep. Yeah. Well, somebody said the Antichrist is going to come, save the day, put it in air quotes. Matter of fact, that stream that the New Year's Eve stream that I'm going to do is actually going to talk about the Antichrist. Is the Antichrist in the earth? Is this all being set up in such a way where, like I said, all of a sudden now the Antichrist is going to be unveiled? I'm going to show you guys this footage on my phone and see what you guys think about it. We'll kind of switch over to that here in a second. And, by the way, let's just ask, because I've got so many of you here. And while I pull this video up, let me just ask you guys, how many of you believe that the Antichrist is in the earth today? How many of you believe that he's in the earth today? Like, is the Antichrist here right now? Let me know. And then Justin says, do you know the reason for the tsunami dreams? I don't know it definitively, but I will tell you, I do believe that the tsunami dreams are when we collectively are acknowledging, the spiritual realm is real. And secular scientists are using terms like interdimensional, but I think the wisdom of the ancients, as you see in biblical texts, is the term like spiritual realm, the realm of the spirit. And those, even when we talk about angels, the New Testament says, and shout out to my friend Isaiah Saldivar, who did a phenomenal teaching tonight about angels and the reality of angels. Go to his channel, Isaiah Saldivar, check out his teaching on angels. And what the New Testament talks about is you can entertain angels unaware. So in other words, you could have full interactions with angels, not even knowing that they were angels, maybe thinking they're people. I've got some incredible stories like that have been featured on national national television and various different places. And so, yeah, these are supernatural conversations. But again, the modern implication is they're saying things now like, oh, it's interdimensional. It's, that type of talk. And so I do believe that the tsunami dreams are connected to that. Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, somebody said, yeah. You guys are lost your mind. Dominic says the Antichrist is here right now and he's actually in you. Yeah, right. You have no idea what you're talking about, bro. How could I be testifying of the reality of Christ and have the Antichrist in me? Literally, Jesus' own words were, a house divided cannot stand. Get out of here with that junk. Carla says, first time subscribe. Welcome. Liz says, I watched Rick Renner about the Nephilim. That's awesome. Awesome. Look at this. New Zealand. Denise says, new subscriber watching from New Zealand, and we are in summer, so I had no idea about the fog. Yeah. Oh. This is good. Yeah, somebody suggested that even CERN's playing God. Okay, let me show you this, though. I'm going to try something here. Let me know if you guys... Hold on one second. It's a little bit of an experiment, trying to get this thing better. Let me see if I can pull up another camera angle. Boom, here you go. Let me know this right here. Okay, so check this out. Let me know what you think. This is in New York City, and this is me zooming in on something that was stationary over my house. Kind of weird. I don't know if you saw that. And then I'm going to try to... It's bizarre. Now, here's where I get a little confused, because this conversation with the plasmoids, the drones... erratic, the movement. I don't know if you caught that. I'm going to play it back one more time so you can see it, because things have been really weird here in New York City. Oh, yeah. Here it is. So check it out. What do you make of this? Very weird. So, oh, there we are. Yeah, what do you make of that? It's really bizarre. Really bizarre. Yeah. Lot of new subscribers. Welcome. Yeah, I'm seeing this comment a lot that says everyone seems to have these ongoing headaches. Matter of fact, my daughter actually is experiencing this. So, kind of weird, and it's not normal for her to have headaches either. Look at this comment. I recorded the fake fog. It is extremely smelly and made me catch my breath, and I've been feeling unwell ever since. So guys, look at the comment that I've got featured right now. At the end of the day, what are you going to do with that? And here's the point. One person says it, okay, whatever, right? Another person says it, another person. But the reason why I did this stream is because I'm talking like, I couldn't even keep up with the amount of videos. I mean, it's literally, it was like, yeah, 12, a lot of heavy fog in Florida. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this, because if you go back and look at my previous live streams, I have a live stream that I think it's at 1 million views. And I showed the footage of somebody recording a drone that released this like mist, like basically something that like came out of this mist, basically like came out of the drone. So I think people are kind of, there's some implications of that. Here's what's weird too. I'm not asking if you're an Alex Jones fan, okay? Because I don't, I don't want you all to get like all out of sorts. But Alex Jones is somebody who's been talking about like weird fringe stuff for years and years. And I was kind of like, man, what does Alex Jones think that this is, right? And man, I don't know what he knows or what he thinks he knows. But all I know is that he was in a video saying that he vomited, like physically vomited, thinking about what's coming. Now, again, there's an element to him, the theatrical element, like he gets fired up. But there's a lot of things converging right now that's really making me wonder. Someone says, I normally don't get headaches, but 8 days ago I've been having headaches. Yeah. Here, this will be funny. This is not live. Well, I'm live. And this, if you look at the screen, it says 12/30/24. So we're showing stuff from the day. This says we had fog in San Francisco several days last week. Never had it at Christmas, usually around July 4th weekend through August. Was not as low to the ground as in August. Did not smell. Great information. Thank you. Yeah, okay, this is a really good comment. So somebody said, this is what somebody said, okay? That they're going to deny the fog just like they deny the drones. You do understand that we've got drones flying in restricted airspace. China hacked our treasury, and we don't know nothing. Our government apparently doesn't know nothing about nothing. Like, we haven't been given any answers. So they're not going to give us any answers about the fog, just like they didn't give us any answers about the drones. You know what I mean? Okay, this question says, what do these events mean to you in relation to the Lord's return? That is the conversation that I'm having with Rick Renner, and it is going to be like a do not miss broadcast, and it's actually happening New Year's Eve. And so that's why I've been asking you guys to be to make sure you're subscribed. Brittany says, I tasted antifreeze today when I was in it. It tasted like, I'm assuming what you're saying is that you were in the fog and it tasted like antifreeze. Interesting. Very. Wow. Yeah, this just kind of going through your comments right now. Yeah. Yeah, good point. I forgot all about that. I'm glad I'm going through the chat. Okay, watch this. Had fog all week here in Houston and 8 tornadoes in just 1 week, which is unusual. Yes, thank you. I forgot all about that, but you're right. There have been tornadoes like crazy, and that to me in and of itself is like super bizarre. Super bizarre. Bioweapon in progress, somebody says. Yeah. I like this. Somebody says tsunami of truth is coming. That's cool. By the way, thank you guys for the super chats. You guys keep lighting up super chats, and I'm just very impressed with that. Again, we're going to pay it forward, by the way. We'll be making a donation to serve food to those who are in need. My wife and I serve food in Brooklyn once a month. We serve approximately 600 families or so a month. I think we served over 6,000 families food over the course of 2024. And so I'm going to be paying it forward. So your guys' super chat, if you guys subscribe, you'll see me make the announcement to the different organizations we're going to donate to and the ones that we're going to help. My wife and I have a passion to physically feed people. And so we will be doing that. Heavy fog in Las Vegas yesterday morning. What does it say? It left a misty covering over the hoods of cars, never burnt off, and the coating is still there. Weird. See, that's weird. That's very weird. Look at that. Here you had a tornado in Santa Cruz, California, and that's super unusual for California. Wow. A lot of you guys are asking how to get in contact with me. If you go to my website, MikeSignorelli.com, that would be great. I've got all kinds of resources there. I have all kinds of blogs, and I have Bible reading plans, and there's just like a lot of really great things there. I also have a chat that's on my website as well. And so you can go there, MikeSignorelli.com. Oh, this is a cool comment. I clicked on your live and got immediate goosebumps. I saw the fog in New York City today, early this morning. It stopped me in my tracks because the fog wasn't anywhere. It was just in one area of my neighborhood. Yeah, I mean, and that's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing this. Yeah, this is a storm chaser. That's cool. You're Ginger Murray. That's cool. Maybe you have a channel that people can check out. Hit me up on my website too. But because, of course, I'm not an expert in weather. I'm just a dude trying to make it happen and get you guys some information. But she says it's unusual to have dense fog advisories for nearly a week. I'm in southern Minnesota, and it doesn't look like fog. So, I mean, listen, a storm chaser saying that. Somebody else said this in the comment section, and I'm going to echo this. Could it be their attempt to keep us inside? Somebody else said, as soon as I go outside, instantly my throat, it starts to hurt my throat. Wow. Somebody says drones appearing in Texas tonight. A lot of people keep asking the question, is this worldwide or just the States? It is worldwide. A lot of people saying in the chat, that's what I think, they want us inside. Eric says, exactly, it's fake chemical smelling fog. A lot of people are suggesting that this looks like radiation snow. And that's the thing that's unfortunate about this, because that's funny. I just got to hold on this. Y'all are funny in the chat. You guys have got me. Lynn says, wow, Mike, how cool is it that your name starts with sign? I like that. I never heard that. In all my years. That's funny. Well, and my name is Signorelli. To all my fellow Sicilian friends, Signorelli. But yeah, so that's which actually means little lord or son of the master. So it's kind of a cool name. Mike, what do you think about the thing that was in the trees in South Carolina? I did see that footage as well, and it was inconclusive. For me, I didn't know. I just don't know. See, my thing is, like, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build trust with you guys. I take it very seriously that you would consider subscribing. And so I try to come prepared. So I consume some stuff, I start looking for answers. I start looking up reports. And well, because again, I'm secularly educated in terms of, having an English degree from a Big Ten, like I mentioned, teaching journalism. I took some coursework at Notre Dame one summer. I kind of like did that. I'm actually in a master's program now for theology. So I try to like use those skills to put together like what's the most substantial information I can actually find. Like, in other words, try to sift through fact from fiction the best I can, and then try to draw some conclusions, and then ask you guys to like do this with me. So with that whole thing you're addressing about the thing in the trees that was snapping the trees, that kind of led me nowhere. Richie says there's fog in London. Also, some people witnessed those things called drones. New subscriber, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, community. I got it. Yeah. A lot of people are saying this. Why are they keeping us inside? What are they trying to keep from us? I don't know. Somebody else, Teresa, says the rain doesn't smell like rain. Rain has a smell. And you can't forget this rain has no smell, not even the rainfall. Which, that's kind of anecdotal, because sometimes I still smell the rain the way that the rain smelled. Somebody says, excellent stream. Thank you so much. The rain doesn't smell like rain. Oh, I thought I featured another comment. Somebody says it covers the war in the sky. David says, I'm subscribed and will support you 100%. I believe in God 100%, and I know your word is so true and accurate. Bless you and your dedication to God and all of us. David, bless you, my man. Thank you so much, my friend, for saying those kind words. I'm trying to be accurate. I give it my best. I'll put it like that. And then if I mess up, I'll come back. Like, I had featured some footage actually that was from, well, you know what it was? In one of my other streams, I had featured some footage that I could not substantiate where it was from. And I had a large number of people say like, no, this was actually from Israel. What you're looking at is the Iron Dome, blah, blah, blah. So what I did was I clipped that out of that broadcast entirely, and then, made a comment or something about it. So I try to do the best job that I can. Thank you for at least seeing the attempt. So here's Linda from New Jersey, and she says, hey, from New Jersey, my family and I went on the porch tonight, and there was a smell in our mouths and throats were burning. So, I mean, listen, guys, let's just, like, I'm going to show you something. I got something here. Stay on. I saved the best for last. And by the way, I haven't said this in several minutes. Please tap the subscribe button And the reason why I'm asking you to subscribe is because, and I've been saying this and I've been right every time, this thing is going to increase. What's happening in the earth is going to escalate, not de-escalate. And we need to be connected together because, like, look at Linda in New Jersey. Linda in New Jersey is saying, my family and I went on the porch tonight and there was a smell and our mouths and throats were burning. But if it was just Linda's comment, we would say something happened in New Jersey. It's isolated. How many comments do I need to show tonight of people reporting the same thing in Texas, the same thing in Tennessee, the same thing in California, to substantiate the idea that there is something larger at play, okay? So that's all I'm saying. So, by the way, my New Year's Eve stream with Rick Renner is going to be amazing, and I want to make sure that you're here for it. So, my mother-in-law gave me a gift for Christmas that I want to show you guys, and this is incredible. I don't know if you can see this. Let me change the boom. You see this? Matter of fact, let me show you close up. Look at this. I'm going to show you the inside of this. See where this says, I don't know if you can read it, the White House, Washington, as Commander-in-Chief. This right here, for those of you who don't know, is a military issue New Testament. And it was common in America that the president of the United States would literally like give the military a Bible. And this, I'm going to read this letter to you. And I want you to think about like where we're at right now in 2024, 2025. As Commander-in-Chief, I take pleasure in commending the reading of the Bible to all who serve in the armed forces of the United States. Throughout the centuries, men of many faiths and diverse origins have found in the sacred book words of wisdom, counsel, and inspiration. It is a fountain of strength and now, as always, an aid in attaining the highest aspirations of the human soul. And this was issued to her father, my mother-in-law's father, okay? So I want you to imagine Joe Biden issuing a Bible to every service man and woman in our military. I mean, I want you to think about that. Probably not, right? Why do I say this? Because I believe that one of the greatest diversions that ever happened is atheism. Atheism is the fastest way to destroy a civilization. Go look that up. When this was our foundation, things were different. And you know why? Let me just tell you this. You can't deceive Christians. A true believer is hard to deceive, because when you read this, it actually helps you increase in your discernment. And you know why? Because the devil is a liar. And you start increasing in your ability to discern these concerted networks of demons that are working together, even on a global front, to mastermind and puppeteer the nations. And this used to be part of our arsenal. And so I think for some of you guys who have been like so vehemently opposed to Christianity, maybe you just met a couple Christians you didn't like. Maybe your problem is not with the true Christ. Maybe your problem is with fake Christ that have been represented in your life. Or maybe you had a couple bad church experiences. But can I just tell you, read this for yourself. And yeah, somebody says divine DNA. I'm telling you, with Project Bluebeam, with the Grays, with the Nephilim, this is going to be. And you know what? Like, you better get a copy for yourself, and a physical one. And let me tell you why. because AI is changing everything. In the next 5 years, you're not going to know what you're watching is real or not. There is not going to hardly be any ability for us to distinguish between artificial intelligence creating these visuals or not. So you better get the book for yourself, because all the answers are there. And we are and I'm just saying this because I've got 5 Bibles on my desk right now that you're looking at, is that we are engaged in an ancient battle. And this battle's been happening for generations. And you were born into this era, and what's happening is the veil is being removed, and there's going to be mass delusion and deception. And so, man, let me just say this one more time. If you have an Amazon account, I encourage you also to tap the pinned comment. And the pinned comment is a book that I have about Genesis, demons, your genetic lineage, your heritage, why maybe some of you have a pre-genetic disposition towards alcoholism and addiction, maybe why some of you have generations of depression, generations of anxiety, and you see that in your bloodline, physical conditions, and we talk about that in the book. It's already been a bestseller. And so I'm not trying to sell books right now. Matter of fact, I just donated the first 10,000 copies of the book by tapping my own savings to do it. So I definitely don't have a motive other than to get the truth out. But I would encourage you to get the book. It's called Inherit Your Freedom. And if you haven't gotten Inherit Your Freedom yet, go ahead and do it right now by tapping the pinned comment, go over to Amazon, and then get the book to your house, and that'll be great, especially for those of you who struggle with understanding the Bible. Part of the reason why I wrote the book is because I've been doing about 2.5 decades of study, and I put that together in one resource for you. And so, yeah. That's awesome. Well, hey guys, I've been on this for a long time. We still have 15,000 people on, which is absolutely insane. And man, I'm just so humbled and honored that I get to be here with you. And on behalf of every single one of you, I was walking through, let me just say this quickly, but I was walking through Central Park today in New York City, and this precious woman and her fiance stopped me, and they're like, Mike, I just finished reading your book, Inherit Your Freedom. I literally read it on the plane. It helped me so much. This is crazy. This is a divine appointment. I'm a vlogger. And, we had this incredible conversation. So I believe in divine appointments. I don't believe that you stumbled upon this channel on accident. And that's why I've been asking you to hit the subscribe button and join this channel, because, I don't have it all figured out. And I'm saying this in all humility, but I'm trying to go on the journey with you and tell you what I know. And that's all it is. Somebody says, grateful that this channel was on my recommended. I am too. So let's stay connected. Let's stay together. I can't wait for, by the way, let's do this, because we do have 15,000 people here. If you read my book already, just so that people don't think that I'm just trying to you sell a book. If you read my book already and it benefited you, would you put that in the chat so other people can see it? Just so that you can tell your experience. By the way, would you also consider going to Amazon and leaving a review after you've read it? We've got almost 200 reviews, so please help me do that as well. Jill says, excellent show, Pastor Mike. Thank you so much. I'm trying. I have no idea what I'm doing, y'all, in terms of all this. If you would have told me that, because I went to school, man. I'm from the hood originally, but I tried to educate myself, and if you would have told me, man, it is going to be the 2020s and you're going to be sitting in your office and you're going to have tens of thousands of people on a live stream talking about drones, plasmoids, orbs, radiation, fallout, fog, I'd have been like, What? Matter of fact, you know how the Simpsons always predict stuff? There's some wild Simpsons predictions. And I thought about doing a stream about that, but it was hard to prove and substantiate all of that. And I'm trying to keep my credibility as high as I can. Mark says, I read the book. It was amazing. Guys, it's the pinned comment, so you can go over and check that out as well. Kelly says, I'm reading it now. It's fire. So again, these people, Margaret says, I have the book. It's excellent. So yeah, Kevin says, thank you, we should pray. Man, Kevin, I don't know why that made me want to cry reading those words. I think it's because you have the American flag. And it's crazy to me as somebody who does consider himself a patriotic American citizen. Guys, I've traveled all over the world. My feet have touched many nations, and I'm very grateful every time I come back to the United States. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of things to work on, but also this is a great nation, and it grieves me because we used to have a very rich tradition of understanding that, look at this. Look at this. Here's a dollar bill. What does this say? The United States of America. But what does it say? I'll show you. Look at this. What does it say? It says, in God we trust. Look at that. And so that's what we used to be. And I think we're going to need prayer. I think when the Obamas make a movie about the apocalypse, and then in the transition from 2024 into 2025, we start living the trailer to that movie, we need to start praying. We need to start praying. So absolutely. Matter of fact, let me do this. I'm going to take a risk, and I've been going for a long time. And by the way, thank you for everybody in the chat who's saying that they bought the book right now. If you jumped on over to Amazon, bought the book, and jumped back, and you got it tonight, can you let me know in the chat? Let me know in the chat. But let me just say this. For those of you who are new to all this, and maybe you would normally. Because look, somebody else says, praying sounds good. Like, you guys are asking me to pray. I didn't say let's pray. You're asking me to pray, okay? And here's the thing. What can I pray for? What do you need prayer for? Okay. Did you guys know that I have a movie called The Domino Revival that was in over 2,000 theaters in the United States 3 times? I don't know if you guys know that. January 6th, or I think it's the 6th or the 7th, my movie is going to be available on Amazon Prime and Apple and all these different places. I'd love for you guys to see my movie and see what you think about it. But I made a documentary, and the documentary was called The Domino Revival, and it was in AMC, Cinemark, and Regal theaters across 2,000 theaters in the United States 3 times. And yeah. Jade, look, I want to read this comment. Jade says, 35 years ago, I was a crazy nut job for talking about these subjects. Now everyone is. And so either I was never crazy after all, or everyone's just crazy now. That is so funny. Yeah, that's the same thing for me. Like, I've been talking about a lot of this stuff for years and years and years. Look at this. I mean, just sitting on my desk organically is the book They Shall Expel Demons by Derek Prince. I mean, and literally the subheading is What You Need to Know About Demons, Your Invisible Enemies. So I've been talking about this stuff forever. So you got to understand, it was so vindicating for me when Joe Rogan is like, talking about demons and stuff. I'm like, well, okay, well, welcome to the party. Grace says she's listening to my book on Audible. Great. Thank you so much. Guys, it's the pinned comment. Go get it on Amazon. But what can I pray for? For those of you who normally would dismiss that, I do believe in divine appointments, and I just stepping out. Somebody says, read the book. Awesome. Lou says, thank you for your channel. Oh, Christine says, you won't regret the book. You're so kind. Oh, somebody says, I got your book for me for Christmas and didn't regret it. That's awesome. I like the comment. Somebody says, what's this fog thing about? I don't know. I've been talking about it for 2 hours. Wow. Yeah, it was. Well, I will pray for you guys just quickly before we leave. And thank you for making this such a special time for me. I know that sounds a little corny. You know what I mean? I know you guys might be like, this guy, he's so corny. But, you know, I'm a husband and I'm a father and I'm a pastor. And sometimes I feel super confident about what I'm doing. And then sometimes I just feel like I have no idea what is going on. And so I'll be honest with you, part of my motivation behind doing this is so that I don't feel as alone. And you guys are helping me just as much as hopefully I'm helping you. And, you know, for those of you guys who may not know, so the documentary that I have tells a little bit about the story. But during the global pandemic, I started live streaming every day. And it was very much just like this right now, where I would have like tens of thousands of people watching me. And I built this massive global audience. And I would walk the streets of New York City with my cell phone going live. And that's kind of like my story. And it was funny because I called it the Mr. Rogers effect. And because I didn't always have the right things to say. I didn't always have the most eloquent, perfect things to say. But what would happen was there would be this comfort of consistency. And it was just like, hey, there's Mike. He's walking the streets. He's talking. We're having a big conversation. So I think there's something to be said about that. And so like if ever you get annoyed by hearing me say like, subscribe, it's just mainly because I know that the power of the consistency of staying connected and how that produces peace. It produces a calmness. And we really need that. We really need that. And so I'll end with prayer for those of you guys who, that's awesome, man. The chat's still blowing up, but can you do me a favor? Tap the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, then share this broadcast with someone who you think needs to see it. And then I'm just going to pray. And I feel so weird getting ready to end a broadcast with 13,000 people on it, but I'm tired. And I got some stuff to do tomorrow, but hopefully you guys made that decision to subscribe and ring the bell notification to stay connected. So let me pray. Heavenly Father, there's many people, there's 13,000 people on right now. Not all of them know you. So I pray right now that you would tangibly and physically encounter them, that they would know how real you really are and that you have a purpose and a plan for them. And you knew them even when they were in their mother's womb. And you knew them, God, and you even knew the days that they would face. And Father, you have not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. And I thank you, God, that you've given us love, you've given us power, and you've given us a sound mind. And God, we are the wild ones. We are the ones who tell the truth. We are the ones who sound the alarm. We are the watchers on the wall. We are the ones, God, that are not going to be deceived by Satan. We will not be deceived by demons. We will not be deceived by the demons in the politicians, in the secular news media. And you will give us discernment through your Holy Spirit to see what the natural eyes can't see, to hear what the natural ears can't hear. And Father, I ask that you heal each and every one of them right now that need physical healing in their body. Jesus, you are the healer. You've always healed, and you still want to heal them right now. And I ask that you do that, God, according to your will. We know that you want to heal them. And so, God, I join my faith with them right now. And I say, be healed in Jesus' name. Wow. Very emotional for me, guys. And I know for some of you guys, because it's out of 13,000 people, there's some of you that might be crying right now because you're just like, wow, I needed that prayer. Let me know. But there also might be some of you that's like, man, I still don't know. I'm still confused. I'm still struggling. And what I would say to you is just let's stay connected. Let's stay connected. Just walk this walk with me, right? Just walk this walk, because I believe that we are experiencing one of the biggest transitions in the history of the world, and we are connected for a reason. Matter of fact, I'll end on a high note. So I was just streaming yesterday with my friend Ruslan, and I said we are one major figure away from a presentation of the gospel, Jesus Christ, and just going into a Jesus Revolution Part 2.0. And I kid you not, there was a major announcement that was made of a guest that's going to show up on Joe Rogan, a renowned, significant scholar of the Bible, and they've already filmed it. It's getting ready to air, and I believe when that thing goes live, it's going to rock the world. And so, yeah, you best believe that when darkness, oh, come on now, you best believe that when the night grows darker, the light shines brighter. So let's throw a fire emoji in the comment section right now as a sign that we're going to shine our light. Like, can you just find that fire emoji on your phone, put it in the comment section as a sign that we are going to shine the light? And I just want to see what it looks like to have 13,000 people comment the fire emoji to show no matter how dark it gets, no matter what they throw at us, we are going to shine the light. Let me know in the comment section. Love you guys. Yeah, come on, man. This is, wow. I'm seeing it. That's amazing. Wow. That's really, look. Look at that. Oh, you can't see it. You can see it. You can't see my screen. Wow. Crazy. Well, on that note, guys, I'm going to sign off. And love that. Love seeing the fire emojis like crazy. That's just like, wow. Wow. Man, just seeing all these fire emojis is like messing me up. This is special. This is special. What we have is special. That's awesome, man. Oh, praise God for you guys. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, guys, you're still lighting the chat up with fire emojis. I thought it was going to end, and yet it's still going. Stephanie says, I did one chapter of your book, and it was very freeing and life-changing. The book's called Inherit Your Freedom. Make sure you get it on Amazon tonight. Just jump on over. The pinned link is there and ready for you guys. But, man, what a great time. You guys are still going with the fire emojis. Like, it's going nuts. This is like, wow. Crazy. Guys, I can't wait to see you in the next one. So for those of you who don't know already, and then I'm going to jump off for real, the next live stream that I do is going to be New Year's Eve with Rick Renner, and we're going to be talking about the end times, Nephilim. It's going to be insane, and I can't wait to see you there. Yeah, Huff on Joe Rogan. That's who I was talking about. That's coming soon as well. But stay tuned on this channel. If you just joined in the last couple of minutes and you didn't hear me say it 50 million times, please hit the subscribe button. Join my channel. Welcome if you're new. We're going to keep this thing going. I'll see you. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Thank you, Linda, for buying it on Audible. Thank you guys for buying the book. I see your chats. And very, very cool. Very, very cool. That's awesome. All right, guys. Love you. I will see you in the next live stream.